hostages returning looking like Holocaust survivors, and President Trump just said Israel can go all out if the hostages aren't returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday. This is not just politics. I see God's hand in this moment. Let me show you why. Watch this.
That Hamas was going to stop releasing Israeli hostages, and what was your reaction?
I think it's terrible. Look, I looked at the hostages that came in, and they're emaciated. It looked like something out of the 1930s. It's an absolute disgrace. And I think they saw the way the world viewed it, and they're looking for a reason not to send more because they're all. You take a look at that. It looks like it was a concentration camp, which essentially it was. It looks like they came out of the Holocaust. And what a sad thing. One of them was a young man, good-looking guy, a little bit heavier than perhaps he could have been, and now he looks like he's not even recognizable. Not even recognizable.
Is the ceasefire deal at risk of falling apart?
Look, I can tell you that those people have been badly hurt, both mentally and physically. I'm talking about the young women that came out also previously. And I think one of the reasons they're doing this is because they're probably sending the best. What you see is probably the best because they want to send people that look at least healthy. And that's not healthy. These people have been badly hurt. They've been interviewed by our representatives. They've been interviewed by Israeli representatives, and they're really hurting. They are really hurting, mentally and physically. And I think Hamas is looking at that and saying, well, it's not going to get much better than that because they probably send out their best as a representative, and they've got more to send out, and they probably feel that they can't do that because it's not going to make them look very good.
Is the ceasefire going to delay that, sir? Should the ceasefire then be off?
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let that because that's Israel's decision, but as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2. Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think a lot of them are dead. I think a lot of the hostages are dead. I think it's a great human tragedy what's happened, how people can be that mean to do. I mean, the one guy was laughing when a hostage he thought his family was alive, found out the family was dead, and his captor, so to speak, started laughing because he thought it was so funny. You know, this is a different group of people. No, I would say Saturday at 12, we want them all back. I'm speaking for myself. Israel can override it, but from myself, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
Seeing these hostages so broken, so traumatized, reminds me of some of the darkest chapters in Jewish history. It's really heartbreaking, and it's terrifying at the same time. Meanwhile, here's Trump basically giving Israel the green light to defend itself if the hostages aren't returned. Whether you love him or you hate him, there's something larger at play here. When I look at this from a spiritual perspective, it feels like a modern day echo where these past times where God orchestrates events in ways that we have no idea, we don't understand. Something radical is shifting in the world. You might think it's just politics, but for me, it's literally a divine sign, maybe even a test of how we stand up for what's right in the face of people who are promoting terror and evil. I want to hear from you, though. Do you see God's hand here? Or do you think this is simply just politics gone wild? Drop a comment below and share your take. And if you're as moved or disturbed by this as I am, hit subscribe. because we want to keep this conversation going. Let's stay aware, let's stay united, and never forget what real human dignity looks like.